Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday. It's Wednesday,
It is,
and we're here,
unless you
and
are,
you're not allowed to worry.
yeah, unless you are from Japan, which they're not on Wednesday anymore, and or Germany or France and many of the other places that people are attending from right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in America, where I know some of you are right now currently, it is Wednesday.
Well, you're still not allowed to worry, even if it's Thursday.
That's right.
That's what it
That's right.
says on the thing. Don't
Mhm.
worry
It says that.
Wednesday, even if it's Thursday.
That's right.
And for all of you, if it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday.
That's right. It's not Tuesday for anybody.
It's not Tuesday or Monday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, welcome. This is our show that we do on Wednesdays, and it's because we love you.
That's right. That's the reason.
Yep. Wait, don't think Thursday? I love it.
Don't think Thursday. That's pretty fun.
So, hey guys, welcome. August, Saule, Akiri Dreams, Sparrow, Saule. I already said Saule, didn't I? But
Yeah.
Saule deserves two because,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Noah, I'm just looking in the chat, and Ryan Seawald is here. Can
Wow.
you,
That
what?
guy.
What? No way.
Get him out of here. My goodness. Ryan Seawell. Jeez.
Yes. So anyway, yeah. So welcome. This show is all about you guys. The topics you send us, whether it's in the chat or in our website, and Saule has so graciously put the link in the chat for you. If you have a something you'd like us to talk about, you can go to don'tworrywednesday.com, click the submit a topic button, and we would be happy to do your topic. There is no topic that we will not do. I don't think.
I mean, I would
Well,
say don't go out of your way to try to make a topic that we won't do, just so we can't
I
say
mean,
that.
you
But
could.
I doubt you could even come up with one, but that's not a challenge.
Maybe you could be the first person who sent a topic that we would not do.
I guess that's one way to get topics, but I don't know if they'll be very fruitful.
Yeah, that's true. Send us
We
your
have done things.
controversy.
We have done some pretty weird topics.
We have.
So, yeah.
Currently forming the most evil topic possible. Good.
Yeah.
Bring it,
hmm
man.
Is it gonna be like pineapple on pizza and also whose whose political face on it?
Pineapple pizza, yes.
I like pineapple pizza.
I like pineapple pizza. It's,
I do.
I know
Although
it's a weird
I'm not
thing.
I'm not big on ham, and they always want to put ham with pineapple pizza. And I
They
don't
do.
dislike ham,
What would you put
but
on it with the pineapple,
maybe like
if
a
not ham?
well, the thing is, like, so many pizza ingredients are ham. I'm just
I know.
allergic to ham. That's why.
Well,
So it's
they're
like,
all pork products, right? Or at least they
I
have
think,
pork
yeah,
in them.
yeah, pork. I meant to say, yeah, pork products, but I like pork. I just can't have it really. It's not good for me to have it.
Yeah.
Um, but if I was to choose something else, I could just choose like, it's really good on pizza, super underrated, pastrami.
That sounds like it would be good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite meat topping on a pizza is pastrami.
Wait,
But
Noah,
yeah.
Noah, this is your first warning.
Excuse me. No, well played. That was well played.
You've been
And by
warned.
no, it's not necessarily saying either are bad. You're just saying they're almost as bad. So it's like it's like you could have something that was like, incredibly good. It's
Hmm.
like this is my favorite shirt. It's almost as bad as this other shirt. And it's like, so it's not that bad, but it's like shares the qualities. I don't know.
But they're both good. I would
Okay.
say that I like squeezed cheese more than pineapple pizza.
Hmm.
I would say that. You felt
Well, I
that in
guess
your
it's a little bit
soul.
more versatile.
I'm gonna sick. I'm gonna sick the squeeze cheese monster on you. I don't know if there is a squeeze cheese monster. If there was, I would eat it.
Wait, a squeezed cheese
I
monster?
would eat the squeeze cheese monster.
Okay. Here, if I may make a pun, would you eat the squeezed cheese monster?
Munster. They don't make Munster squeeze cheese though.
I know. Well, Munster is such a, you know, I figured out today. I happened to just take a little bite of Munster today, and it kind of tastes a little bit like a mozzarella.
It is. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
I
I
do
like it.
like I do like Munster cheese. Yes, and we are off to a great start.
Yeah.
Pineapple in salty plates is common in SEA,
Is that Southeast Asia,
Southeast Asia. Uh-huh.
or is that something else? I don't know. I don't ever heard of this. I don't know what a salty plate is.
Maybe like food that's salty and they put pineapple with it.
Oh, salty plates. Okay, that makes sense. Like plates as in dishes. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Does Ryan have context as to why we're talking about squeeze cheese? Yes, Ryan knows all about my affinity for squeeze cheese.
Yes,
He
yes.
he knows me well.
I know him well, and I know that he really likes squeeze cheese.
I like the
I'm not
squeeze cheese,
against it.
man. Yeah,
I'm not against Joe liking squeeze cheese.
it's so good.
Mhm.
Yes, we are
Joe, do you like?
currently soliciting topics.
Wow.
What about
Yeah.
canned cheese? I mean, squeeze cheese is cheese in a can. I
It
like
is
all
canned
of those
cheese.
fake cheese products.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, what's your opinion on wow, now it just
Cheese Whiz,
uh, what the V starts with a V.
Velveeta.
Velveeta, thank you. Yeah,
Velveeta
what's
is
your
the number one cheese in the world.
okay? I'm okay with you saying that. I'm not like sold on it being the best cheese, but here's the thing. There is no best cheese because each cheese is good in its own place.
Mm-hmm.
And if we're making like a nacho dip, Velveeta is king. I mean, I like
That's
Velveeta
true.
with stuff. Like you got to put like some like spices and maybe add some like sour cream up in that,
Nah,
and
man.
get something special. But if as far as cheese goes, yeah, like you're making a nacho cheese, I think that the Velveeta is probably the best because it makes the best sauces.
It does. It really does. And it's good just taking a big old bite off the brick, man.
Hey, I could do that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan.
Comes
I'm
in
not
the
that big of a fan, but I could do that.
you open the box and you open the foil and then you just like chop
And then
mow down on the brick of cheese, man.
you know
It's
what? Actually, that'd be hilarious to open up a fresh, you're like opening up a fresh Velveeta,
mm-hmm.
and then you realize it's already been opened and there's a perfect bite mark out of it. And you're
Yes.
like, Joe,
Joe did
I know
this.
who done it.
That's right.
Right.
What about handfuls of liquid cheese? Like all those cheeses. One of my favorites actually. Maybe Velveeta isn't the best cheese. Maybe the best cheese is the Taco Bell nacho cheese that comes in the little
That
cups.
nacho cheese is, yeah, that
It's
nacho cheese
so
has a
good.
special place in my heart. I have no idea how they make that cheese.
I don't either,
I'm
but I
guessing
love
it's a
it.
type of, it's like a, it's something similar to Velveeta, but anyways.
Your
Best piece is feta. Okay, no, you know what? I really like
feta's
feta a
good.
lot.
Feta is good. It is very
That's a
good.
good one. Yeah,
I don't like the really really strong smelly cheeses like Limburger and
fair.
I don't like blue cheese really cuz I mean it's moldy cheese, right? So it's just
Yeah, I like it,
it
but
kind of
it's
rubs me
like
the wrong way.
I like it, but in small doses. The blue cheese.
Yeah.
Like you had that blue cheese burger, and you actually said you liked it, but that's like
Oh,
you take a blue cheese and you put it in a sauce,
did
and
I
then you
like the
put
blue
that.
cheeseburger?
Yeah, you did like the blue cheeseburger.
When did I eat the blue cheeseburger? Remind me.
This was years ago.
Years
This
ago.
was like, yeah, this could have been like 8 years ago now. I
Okay.
don't know how. It's a long time ago.
All right.
But I recommended you try. a blue and black burger or a blue cheeseburger.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now that you
Mhm.
say blue and black burger, now I remember.
Yeah, the blue and black burger, and it
Mm-hmm.
actually is it's pretty good. It's got its own flavor.
Yeah, that's true. You know, one of the best burgers I ever had was a burger with peanut butter and jelly and bacon on
Oh yeah, I remember that.
it.
Yeah, dude, that sounds awesome. That sounds so out of this world.
It's so
Like
random and weird, but it was really good.
it feels so wrong, but at the same time, why not? Let's try it, you know?
Try it, man. You never know. It's like there was that restaurant, I think it was called Bennigan's, that had the Monte Cristo sandwich. It was
Oh
basically
yeah.
like a club sandwich that they deep fried and then they served it, which I mean, that in itself is amazing because anytime you deep fry something, it makes
Mhm.
it amazing. And then they would serve it with this raspberry sauce, like raspberry
Yeah,
jam or something like that. And they put powdered sugar on it. And it was like this weird,
that sounds awesome.
there was this weird, like club sandwich, and with sweetness in it. And it was
Yeah.
bizarre, but it was good.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite sauces of all time that like and it's so rare to find it. I almost never find it anywhere. It's called Raspberry Inferno. And it's basically a raspberry and I don't know, like maybe it's got like a little bit of habanero in it.
Mm.
Anyways, it's spicy, but
Hmm.
it's like really good.
Yeah.
It's like a spicy sweet, and you
It
put it on
sounds it
something and it
sounds
just
good actually.
lights the whole thing on like just brilliant, sweet, acid, and spicy, and it's just like this great combo.
Mm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Yeah.
We're all making me hungry.
Uh-oh, uh-oh. Yeah.
You're turning 20 on Friday.
Oh, wow,
Wow.
that's crazy.
Happy birthday,
Congrats.
Sparrow.
Oh, Sparrow, you've been with us a long time.
You're so old. You're almost as old as me now. You're getting
Dang.
close.
9 years, man. Only nine more
You're
years.
almost there. You're almost there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of birthdays around nine. Yeah.
I mean, it's March. Apparently, a lot of people were born in March.
Yeah.
That's right. Eternally
Okay.
29. We've talked about this. I've
Yeah.
been 29
Sparrow,
forever since the beginning of
I
time.
just read that. That's really funny. Blue, more like blue. That's that's fair, you know. I respect that.
Yes. Ryan, you have to wish Noah a
Oh,
happy birthday.
no, happy birthday. I hope you had a wonderful last week. That's so awesome.
Yep. Noah
Congratulations.
has entered adulthood.
Oh, like as in like 18 or
Yes.
12.
12.
Yeah.
Is 12 an adult?
Yes, 8. Well, I mean, it was adulthood when 2000 years ago.
Yeah. All right.
2000 years ago, 12 was adulthood. It is
That's
not
right. I
anymore.
remember those days. Those were the
Yeah.
days, man, when adults were 12
Yeah, it was
because
horrible.
life
Let's be
expectancy was
honest.
like 14. And so they're like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. You got 2 years left. Better start adulting.
Right. Sparrow, you're not wrong because when you're that age, you're like, oh yeah,
That's
I'm
your
so
defining
grown up
age.
now, blah 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 blah. But then
Yeah.
you get older. It's weird. The older I get, which I don't get any older, but if I were to get any older, the older I get, the smarter my parents get, which is
Mm.
weird.
Interesting.
Because when
Yeah.
you're a really young 29-year-old, like your parents are dumb, and
Mm.
you know so much more than they do.
Yeah.
But then the older you get, they get smarter. It's
Oh,
weird.
I've never, I've never had that. My brain has never thought that about you having parents, even though you've been eternally 29. And then your parents, and when did your parents give like birth to you? Like 29 years ago, obviously,
It was
always.
it
But
was
like,
it was metaphorical.
Yeah, as a metaphorical. Okay. I've never thought about your age in terms of like actual being born 29 years ago
'Cause-
with real parents. Okay, that's now this is getting very confusing.
I know.
Um,
We're here to
but yeah,
confuse
you know,
the pants off you. You know, that's what we're here to do.
this is brilliant. So, you know how like when you turn 12 and you're in the teens, like most kids tend to be that's their defiant age. They want to question everything. Everything's, they think their parents are stupid. They're going to do all their own stuff and so on and so forth. They have their defiant age or whatever phase.
Mm.
I now understand why 12 used to be the adults. It's because the parents were like, "You want to act like that? Get out of here.
Mhm.
Yeah, you think you know everything? Go ahead. Go ahead, live out there. Go ahead. Find your own, build a house. Go for it, buddy. I'm done with you because you're being really annoying and you think you know the way, so go ahead."
Good luck.
And then the kids are like, "All right, fine, I will." And they go out and then yeah, or they get sent out into the wild and they have to survive in the woods for 2 years and then they come back and they're like, "I'm an adult now, I've done it." And it's like, "Hey, congratulations.
Hmm.
You are an adult. You've proven yourself
You've
and you're
proven
not
you
dead." So,
survived just by surviving. You did.
mhm.
You did it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I get it. I get it. Send them out when they're defiant. I like it.
how how do I feel about my birth year approaching Y2K?
Oh,
My birth year, I didn't have a birth because I've just always existed. No, I'm just kidding.
it's 29.
Yes. Anyway, guys, welcome again. Yes, I just materialized. I just came into existence, you know.
That makes sense, Wix.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, it does. So I need to do the legal disclaimer real quick before we get too far. We're not professional therapists. We're not professional counselors. We're not attorneys. We're not a substitute for professional advice in any way, shape, or form. But we just want to help in any way we can. So if there's something you're struggling with, or something you just like to hear us talk about, go to don'tworrywednesday.com and submit a topic there, or you can just submit it here in the chat, or you can hit us up on Discord. Most of you guys know who we are on Discord. If not, feel free to shoot a message to any of us. Um, most of the people here are friends with me on Discord, I think, currently. But yeah, we'd love to talk to you. We'd love to hear from you and hear how your lives are going. And
Yeah.
we're really glad you're here. So
Yeah. In lieu of you guys, it would be lovely for you to give us some topics. I did get one
mm,
from Rowan who says they'll be asleep, but
oh,
I can we have some topics already. I can process this anyways since they said they will not be attending the live stream, but
you just got it.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, go ahead and process it.
Okay,
Um,
great.
yeah. So, yes, Sparrow, you have been friends with me on Discord since I was 29. It's funny because I've always been 29. But anyway,
Yeah.
one of my favorite memories of you, Sparrow, is when we were in the Minecraft server together, and you had your little sign that said free food, and then I went over there. I was like, free food. I'm going to go get some free food. And I immediately fell to my death.
Nice.
and I was like, "Where's the food?" And you were like, "You're not hungry anymore, are you?"
Sparrow.
And I was
How
like,
dare you? Oh man. Sparrow. Well played, but very rude. It
"No, it's hilarious." I was,
is hilarious. Yeah.
I was like, "That was great." And I remember mining endless amounts of cobblestone for you too, for your build. Um, but yeah, we had a BSS Minecraft server It was a long time ago, wasn't it? It's still burned in, it's still etched into my memory bank though. Um
That's a good memory.
yeah, we had you know, it probably still exists. It just hasn't been updated in like forever. So, cuz none of us really have time to do it. Um to update it. Everybody's so stinking busy working and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Um but yeah, I'm sure a save file exists. I'm sure because it's still there and it just hasn't been updated in like a year or 2 years or something like that, so it's not accessible. But yeah, we had
Okay.
we started with a Bedrock server and that was fun. And then we made a Java server too, and that was fun too. The Java server got crazy with people's builds and
I
um
bet.
yeah, it was nuts. And we had some admins on there. They gave me a magic stick
Hmm.
which had like
That was
not
interesting.
it had like knockback 400 on it. And
Well, that's
yeah.
hilarious. Honestly, I love knockback on any video game ever. And
Yes.
every time I play Dungeons and Dragons, my brain goes, "Can I create a knockout build?" And then like a knockback build, and then I'm like, I've done this 400 times, and I still am not able to get one that's actually useful and
Mm,
consistent. But like, I just love it. I just love the idea of knockback.
yeah,
It's
it's
so
pretty
fun.
cool. Saole, you are right. I stand corrected. It was a sign. It wasn't a stick. It was a sign
Oh,
that
and
was
it
then
said
a
band.
weapon, and I accidentally placed it like more
Oh,
than once. So
oh,
they made me they made me this sign, and I was like, yeah, this is great. I can beat people with it, and it had
mm,
knockback and looting and well, not is it looting or is it some whatever gives you like a whole stack of whatever that thing drops, and then and fire aspect and everything. It was just like it was totally OP. And yeah, and then I was flying and I almost crashed into a mountain and then I accidentally placed the sign and it was gone and it was just there. And then when I broke it to get it back, all the enchantments were gone.
yeah.
I was
It
like
is because yeah,
so
when you
sad.
put it down and you pick it back up, it creates the sign object, which goes into your inventory as just a regular sign. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a bummer.
So like wow, 256 knockback, 256 looting, 256 fire aspect, 256 sharpness, and a few other things. Yes, it
Okay,
was like
that's awesome.
it was it, man. It was the thing. It
That's
was
fun.
it was fun.
You know what? I don't have a favorite D&D class because every time I always create my own and get it okayed with the DM.
Mm.
Because my personal favorite thing to do in Dungeons and Dragons is not actually even play Dungeons and Dragons. It's to create the character, which is most people's most hated part. But it's my favorite part because I'm just like my mind goes wild with so many different thoughts and like ideas of how things would play out and like, man, this part of the system in the rule set here could work with this and I could like exploit this little bit, but like also make my character really like pitfall in this area. Like just like I'm an old man and I've got a cane and I got like terrible walk speed, but then I got this side of me. I'm just like I love playing with this dynamic of like I'm a cripple or I've got this terrible side effect, but also like I'm really great for this other thing and just I just love that. I just love playing with the character creation of
Mm,
Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, I like playing the character as well, but yeah.
that's cool. Dungeons and
So
Dragons is something I never got into, but I watched you guys into it and I was like, holy cow, this is a crazy huge world of stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Crazy huge. There's
it
so
is. It
much.
is.
There's so much involved. It's quite
That's a really
impressive.
good. Yeah, yeah. There's so much there. That's a really good question, Wix. Yeah, what is your favorite? D&D class, Noah, if you have one.
A BSS
BSS,
D&D.
yeah.
It would.
We that would be interesting. If we could all get together enough to do that, that would be amazing. But
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Your favorite class is wizard
that's a good class.
and then
Yeah,
monk.
I think it's the most robust class,
The
wizard, because
wizard
you
is?
can go in so many different directions. Because a wizard can learn any spell, but they're the hardest to actually acquire and learn the spells. But they can learn any, so they can be the most they could be tool oriented, they could be damage oriented, they could be a mixed bag of everything. But um, yeah, it's just sort of like your character develops as you play the game,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't know what you're going to get,
Mm.
and that's kind of fun for wizards. I like that
Mm.
because you don't know exactly what spells are going to show up, but or what time you'll have to learn them and so on. So that's
Mm.
cool. That's a pretty cool one, Noah. I like that. It's a good answer.
Right on. You played on Twitch a while back. It was a while back.
Yeah,
You guys used to
yeah,
do
we played
some
on Twitch.
seriously long D&D streams.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
Mhm.
And you got to gamble with potarts. I remember doing that, watching you guys play and gambling with potarts.
About gambling, yes. Someone go get Baka and Rekka and everybody.
Yep.
They were really fighting for the lead on Potards. That was so great. Everyone was gambling. Everyone's gambling so much for those Potards. And then they get like a million and it's one person, and then they lose them all. And they'd be like, all right, well, back to the bottom. I'll gamble all the way to the top again. Yeah, people are doing great. Catsburg was in it too. Yeah, there's so many good times. Good times, good times. Yeah, we did. We did used to do those. That was years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were fun. Sparrow,
Yeah.
I remember the Double Cup of Joe show
Double Cup
too.
of Joe show was awesome.
That was fun. That was hilarious because we decided we'd do that at like way early in the morning when we
Yeah,
started.
that was really funny because the other Joe was having a really hard time.
Yeah.
I'm
Poor
surprised he signed
Joe.
up for that.
He did. He
Yeah.
was, dude, guy's a beast, man. He was awesome. He was just like, yep, I'll do it. And then he'd show up and he's like all bleary and like tired and everything. He's like, but I'm here, man. I made it. And I'm like, yes, you made it. At the time,
Yeah.
I was getting up really early anyway, just because I don't get up nearly that early anymore. I've learned that sleeping 4.5 hours a night is generally not good for your health, mental
Yeah.
or physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, this walk down memory lane, guys. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. Man, oh
Yeah.
man. Waking up before commuting to
Oh
college for
yeah.
the Double Cup of Joe show is what solidified you're sticking around. Nice. Man. Yep. That was great.
Wow.
You were always there.
Yeah. That's right. Saule was always there. I remember that was kind of, yeah, exactly. I was like, that's when Saule started like showing up as a part of BSS
Mm-hmm.
community,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of establishing himself. But yeah, that's right.
Yep. That was awesome. 3-step process. Oh yeah, man. Oh, and the chase release. That was a crazy night.
Yeah, that was a crazy night.
That was
Wow,
fun
Noah.
too.
Oh man. Yeah, that was nuts. That was fun. Yeah. We had a lot of people there on that.
We did. We
That was
had so
great.
many people and I was working.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was packaging up all everybody's Kickstarter product.
That's that's right. We had like quite a bit of this BSS team there. That was pretty cool.
We had everybody. We had all the owners were there
Yeah, wow. That's
on the
incredible.
stream.
The fact that we pulled that off is a miracle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's funny because, we've been BSS since like 2010,
Yeah.
and that happened in 2020, and then we actually all got together in person in 2024. Did you get married in 24 or 25? It was your
Oh
wedding.
wow. Yeah. Okay, that's 2024, I believe. Wait. Yeah, 24.
Okay. Yeah. That was the first time all of us had gotten together in person.
Yeah. That's crazy to me.
Yep. Took
But
us
that's
14 years.
because Joe Bohan was the one that I had never even gotten to see him like in the flesh
Oh, okay. Yeah.
until
Until the
until
day you
my
got
wedding.
married.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yep.
He was taller than I expected. I remember
Dude, the
that.
guy is super tall. I remember the
Yeah,
first time I walked up to him, and I was just like, "Hey, Joe, you look so
yeah,
short when you're sitting in your chair on a screen."
yeah. I thought
Like,
he was like, like my height
right,
ish.
right.
And I'm like, I walk up and I'm like, well, like I'm getting close, like I'm walking to him and I'm like, oh, that's Joe. I've seen him so many times and I'm walking up to him. As I'm approaching him, I'm like, I'm looking more and more up as I'm going towards him. And I'm like, wait, I have to adjust. My brain was not expecting this. I have to look up at him. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. 12 weeks. Oh my gosh.
Wix, were you there?
Incredible.
Dang,
No, 12. Oh, wow.
dang. Wow, you guys are diehards, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys so much more, so much
Yeah.
more, so much, so much. Okay.
Terry, well, you've been Wix for a long time.
Mm, you have.
Terry sounds familiar, but yeah, Wix, I know that. I know Wix from, I mean, you've been on Don't Worry Wednesday years ago as
Uh,
Wix, I
uh.
believe. I believe.
Yeah, the time does fly. And Saule, I'm glad you still have your box. It's
Yeah.
still funny.
Awesome.
It's still funny to drop those off because we still, I still ship product out, and I still make them all in a box, box with box written on it, and
Yeah.
I still get funny looks when I drop them off.
I love that. I love that. That's so cool.
Like, of course it's a box. Why'd you have to write box on it? It's a box.
It's a
Like,
box
you
with,
don't get it. You don't understand.
yeah. No, okay. Most people boxes, they get thrown in the trash.
Right.
Our boxes, people actually save them as like merchandise.
That's right. That's right. Because
And
that's a
all we've done,
character. It's a
because it's a
character.
character. Yeah. All we've done is write the word box on it and it has value.
Yeah.
So you tell me who's the fool. Maybe us still, actually, but we're doing great.
That's
It's so
true.
fun.
Sparrow, probably you didn't get a box. You know what?
Uh,
If you
Maybe we
place
need
an
to send
order or
Sparrows.
something, I'd be happy to send you a box. I even send boxes with the tsundere plushies.
That's fun.
Um, just because. But yeah, we didn't think up that idea when we
Yes, our
first
first shipments weren't
right.
box.
And you see, that's the thing. If you got a shipment from that Kickstarter and it wasn't in a box, then that means you got like limited edition box. It doesn't say box on it.
Wow. You got the kind where you get to write your own
You can
boxes.
write your own.
But if you don't have the box anymore, then you might need to go to a dump and find it.
I mean, really, you could just go get a Uline box. Uline
Hmm,
is the brand of boxes that we got. You could just get a box and write box on it, and then you'd have a box.
good.
It just wouldn't be in my handwriting,
Right.
which is just fine because your handwriting is probably better than mine.
Aha. Okay, Teriel. Okay, Teriel.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
you?
that's very familiar. Yeah, from a long time ago.
Oh my
I do
gosh.
recognize that name.
I had no idea that was you. Huh. You
Yeah,
need it
that's
in
true.
Joe's handwriting.
It's counterfeit. Yeah.
Wow, Wix. Yeah, you've been with us a long time. That's cool.
See, it's kind of funny when when you start showing up again, Wix. I was expecting you to do what you used to do, which is you would make a lot of comments about what we were saying, but they'd be really well written and very smart, but like trying to counteract what we're saying. And I remember you doing that a lot. And every time you did it, we were like, yeah, no, you're right about that. And you're like, okay, yeah, cool. And it's like, but I remember you used to phrase things, I believe it was you, Wix, you used to phrase things as if to correct us. And then we'd be like, yeah, you're right. I
Uh-huh.
think that was Wix. I remember someone doing that and I thought it was Wix.
Wix, if you were 12 back
It would
then,
make a lot of sense.
then holy cow, you're a smart 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I remember you had smart comments, and I was like, holy cow.
Yeah.
I figured you were older than that. Oh yeah, I remember you being Noah Game Master.
I remember that as well. Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wix, I'm
Yeah.
sure you're still a very smart non-12-year-old.
Sparrow was, I think Sparrow, correct me if I'm wrong, you were one of my very first topics I ever did.
With
Like
the beta cat.
with yeah, with the beta cat.
Don't be so sure. I would bet money, Wix, that you're very smart.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
so
don't
smart.
even have much money.
Sparrow, that might not have been the case, but I thought, oh, your first topic was with my brother. Okay, so it wasn't you. I wonder who it was then. There's some in our community who did their topic.
My first topic was TEF.
Oh, really?
Or at least
Nice.
that was in the first show that I did uh
Yeah,
with Don't Worry Wednesday with you. Um
it's a good one.
TEF. TEF, I remember TEF being there, and that was one of the first topics. I think maybe the first topic. Um
That's fun. TAF is awesome.
I would also bet money that you're no longer 12, Wix. Yes. Not everyone can be eternally one age like me.
Sure.
So foiled again. uh
No, he didn't do Don't Worry Wednesday before me. No, he only stepped in on occasion.
he did a lot of things before you though.
Yeah.
He was born before you. He
He was
probably
born
walked
before.
before you.
Yeah, he smelled before me.
He smelled
He
before
smelled
you.
things,
Yeah.
and he did pretty much most ordinary human functions in every way, in every capacity before me.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah, he did a lot of firsts. Yeah, he played the piano before me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, hey, what do you say we jump into a topic?
I think that's a really good idea.
That would be a great idea. Now that we've been just shooting the
Mhm.
breeze with you guys, which is great. I
Yeah,
love this. I love hanging out and talking with you guys.
yeah, it's great to catch up.
Were we going to do a topic? Yeah, we were going to do a topic. We can do a topic. We know how to do topics. All
Yeah,
right.
we can do that.
We
Come on.
got some topics. And guys, if you have a topic, again, go to don'tworrywednesday.com, click the submit a topic button, and fill it out. And we'd be happy to do whatever it is that you send us. So
Mhm.
this first topic that we're gonna go through comes from Dolphin, and it's called Creative Hobbies. And I will get it up here on the screen for you so you guys can read along while I read it aloud. And yeah, so oh, okay, go grab some dessert, man.
Yeah,
Dessert sounds good, but
yeah, you can catch up with double speed later.
yes, you can. That's for sure. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. This is called Creative Hobbies, and it comes from Dolphin, and it reads as follows. Hello. on a DWW years ago, I remember Ryan speaking about how when you stop overindulging in things like video games, social media, etc., then creative hobbies and work become more fulfilling. If you guys could speak on this more, I would greatly appreciate it. I graduated and have been working full time for a year now and have felt my hobbies get pushed to the side. I keep seeking easy comforts after work from being so tired, but wish I could go back to writing and wood carving. And that is from Dolphin. So, Dolphin, thank you so much for the topic. Really appreciate you sending that. I remember you talking about this too, Ryan. Like you've talked about this a few times.
Yeah.
Like how pursuing boredom can help
Yeah.
you to find more joy in smaller things, more joy in all these things, and there's a whole bunch of psychological aspect to this. But yeah, it is true. If you can just sit in silence for a while and just allow yourself to just decompress, and then it's weird because like the world around you just becomes more vibrant and it becomes more you notice more things and your creativity wakes up and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. So before I get too far into this, I'm gonna just hand it off to Ryan because Ryan spoke to this so eloquently before, and I'm looking forward to hearing about it more. So, Ryan, it is all yours, my friend.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate that. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been a long time since I remember first kind of talking about that. And I remember talking about it because it's just like vividly ingrained in my brain,
Mm-hmm.
the images of people's brains when they're overstimulated or overindulged in something or anything. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be necessarily something that's dopamine rich or entertaining. It can even be work. It can be uh, it can be many things, right? People don't tend to overindulge in things outside of entertainment these days, um, or work. Entertainment and work. Those are the
Yeah.
two main things that we do as human beings. But I mean, then again, some people overindulge in food. And I remember looking, it's hard to find the images now because I can't remember the exact name of the clinical names of it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's these images of brains and they trace the neurological pathways. And as someone is over, um, as someone takes too much of something in, their brain starts to shut those receptors down, and then the pathways have to take different paths. And this is a mechanism in our brain to fight overloading, so that our brains can rest and recover, right? And these images of people's brains when they're overstimulated for too long, for like months, their brains look like Swiss cheese. Their brains have giant, just neurological holes in them where their brain is just on constant rest because there's just too much going on. They can't even fully function like a brain is supposed to, especially not optimally. And so this Swiss cheese looking brain is really kind of fascinating and also horrifying to look at, and it's kind of implanted in my memory, the image. But it speaks volumes about, like Joe was saying, pursuing boredom. It speaks volumes about resting and making sure you rest. It speaks volumes about, instead of overindulging, look to indulge in a plethora of many different things, just like you do with your diet. If you were to think about your diet and like, what's the best thing I could do for my diet? It's like, well, you know, I need these different nutrients. I need my different vitamins. I need my proteins, many different amino acids and so on. I need my fibers. I need, water. I need et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, and you try to, if you were really looking at your health and trying to create for yourself a diet that's best for you, You'd be looking at these different things that are going into your body and be trying to get a wide variety. You wouldn't necessarily be trying to get the wideness of variety in every meal, but you'd be getting the wideness of variety over a week or so. And that's what I think a lot of, I'm guessing that's what a lot of dietitians would recommend. It can be the same thing for um, your work life experience. If you're overindulged or you're overstimulated, you're overwhelmed in a particular activity, you're not getting the breadth of the nutritions, you could say, from the different activities in your life. And that can cause, well, that would cause overloading, and that can cause an issue with not fully being all there with your brain. And this might have something, might be what's impacting your tiredness, but I'd also recommend potentially looking at it from the opposite point of view. What is it that's making you so tired?
Mm.
What is it that's making you so tired so much so that at the end of the day you feel like the only thing you can do is easy comforts? Easy comforts are rarely fulfilling. In fact, it's very rare for an easy comfort to feel actually fulfilling in any sense. They feel like, well, this is what I could muster, or they feel like um, I chose to do this because it was what I could do, but I'm not proud of it, and I'm not fulfilled by it, and it's leaving me kind of empty, right? A lot of times that's what happens. And like you said yourself, you wish you could go back into writing and wood carving, which is awesome. And I think you should. It will those things are more fulfilling for sure. Um, but what's causing you to be so tired? Is it, are you feeling like you're being overworked? Or is it that there's something else in your environment that might be causing you to be tired? Is there a lack of excitement um, about the hobbies you want to do? I know for me that if I'm really excited about something, it kind of doesn't matter how tired I feel. I'm kind of up for the task, right?
Mm.
Generally speaking, not everything, but generally speaking, right? If I'm excited about it, suddenly the energy's there. That isn't always the case. It really does. Like if you've got really poor physical health or really poor mental health, then even if you're excited, you kind of can't do much. But um, I know for me, and I know for a lot of people, if you're excited about something, you just kind of feel like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. If you, or sorry, if you're excited about something, you kind of just like get that rush, um, that energy to push you to do it. Um, but that doesn't always happen, right? And I think that happens less and less maybe as we grow older, but I don't see that being entirely true. I see people like my grandpa doing that all the time. He gets an idea and he likes to create like these little houses and stuff. And then he gets this
Mm.
like model houses that he creates out of random odd end objects, like just random pieces of throwaway garbage, and he'll make a house. It's incredible what he does, but he gets excited about them. And so even him, I see old guy like that. He's like 90 something, 92, 93,
Mhm.
maybe older. And you can see how excited he gets and that it really pushes him and drives him to do these things that are hobbies. And so um, maybe it's not so much age or necessarily physical degradation completely, or even maybe it's not even mental degradation entirely either. But he does well for himself. He's doing well. But regardless, I think one of the things that's really important is kind of what your topic points at in your question at the top here, where you said when you stop overindulging in things like video games, social media, etc., then creative hobbies and work become more fulfilling.
Mhm.
And sometimes the answer is don't look for an easy comfort and instead do nothing for just a little while.
Mm.
And by a little while, I mean put it into a time slot for a time that you do maybe every day for just 15 minutes. Maybe if you could, maybe you can handle up to 15 minutes of silence and nothing. And I'm not talking about necessarily resting in bed. I'm talking about, well, it depends. It depends on how tired you are. If you're like physically tired, where you're like, if I lay in bed, I'll fall asleep, then don't do that, right? But if you could stand, pace, um, do a little bit of mindless work with your hands, or go for a walk, whatever it is, be in silence where there's nothing necessarily comforting you. There aren't any comforts. Um, that's hard, but if you can do that, I think maybe that's the rest your brain is missing. Because if you are overloaded and you feel really tired, it might be that your brain is overstimulated, but it might not be. You might have something in your environment causing you to be tired, like molds or allergies or um, poor diet or lack of exercise or dehydration or um, many possibilities. So I just don't know. So I would ask, why is it that you're so tired that the things that should excite you aren't enough to make you move? And maybe solve that. And if it is that you're overworked and over comforted, like you just got too much going on all the time, which I think a lot of people do.
Mm.
Let's be honest. I mean, we fill our we fill our downtime. I mean, people. I mean, it's like, oh yeah, I'm sitting on the toilet. Well, and it's like, oh, this is my downtime. I'm gonna pull out my phone and start looking stuff up on the internet. Like I'm gonna open my phone and play a game on my phone because I can't just like I got to do something. And so it's like going excreting waste from your body is no longer enough anymore. You
Uh,
got to be doing something at the same time. You got to be
I know
reading the
you
news.
gotta you
Yeah.
gotta have a phone app open.
You
You
got to
gotta.
have a yeah, right? And so it's like you really can't like people just can't stand in silence these days. And I think if you get into that habit, yeah, you absolutely will fall into this feeling of like, yeah, just um, a daze, a glaze. It just kind of glazed over because you're so filled to the brim with constant input. How are you going to have any output? Output requires time, and a good output requires time for just thought to come through and process. And you're not giving yourself time to process. If you're always at work and when you're not at work, you're doing easy comforts, then yeah, maybe your brain just hasn't had time to process stuff. So giving yourself like maybe even just 5 minutes a day, whatever you think you can push yourself to do, 5, 15, 30 minutes a day. Hey, I mean, if you can do prayer, that's useful. If you could do like 2 hours of prayer, that's really useful. Some of that prayer would be just silence, but that's asking a lot, especially if you're working, So I would say you don't have to push that hard, but do what you can and see if that's helping. And if pursue boredom with a passion. If that doesn't help you here, then the issue isn't that your brain is overloaded. And the issue might not be the easy comforts. The issue might be something with your environment or your diet or whatever. So, um, yeah, I think it's a little bit here, a little bit of it's one of those things where you just got to play and test the waters and see how things turn out and learn from your experiences. You know, it's nice to keep a journal for those things so you can kind of keep track of what you've been trying and talking with yourself about different things. And like, I mean, writing down like your different things you've tried, what's failed and what's had some success, and digging into that and trying to um, process or trying to um, reason why certain things might be working and why some other things might not be. And trying to come up with solutions that way is a really great way to get your mind on track with figuring this stuff out. But yeah, I would love for you to get into wood carving again, and that would be so cool. And writing as well. Writing requires a lot of. I mean, I'm sure wood carving does too, but both of them are very creative, and both require an intense amount of brain power. When you come home from work, that amount of brain power is hard.
Mm.
So, um, creativity requires a very clean mind. And so if you don't feel like you can do that at the end of the day, um, I don't know what you do for work, but if your work is highly creative, then I would understand. But if your work is not highly creative, then the question is what's eating up your creative thoughts? Is it that you aren't bored enough? Is it that you don't have time to process things so that you can be actually creative and create and come up with new creative ideas? Or is it potentially something that's eating up your creativity with, again, your lifestyle, like what you're eating, what you're breathing? Mold is a known creativity killer. Like if there's mold in your living space, it will absolutely eat away at your ability to create because it attacks that part of your brain. Um, you know, things like this. So yeah, I would try to keep a journal maybe and test the waters of different things and see how things go. And that would be the best thing I could recommend. Um, but I'm interested in you writing again. That sounds really cool. And wood carving sounds awesome too. But um, yeah, either way. I've spoken a while about that. I hope that was useful. I'm gonna give it over to Joe.
I, you didn't speak for very long. You always say you've spoken for a while.
Okay.
It's becoming a habit.
I
I'm
feel
gonna
like
call
I
you out
feel
on.
like I have to say it because I feel like I have.
Yeah, it's okay. You always have good stuff to say, so don't worry about it, man. It's all good. But yeah, Dolphin, I understand I understand your conundrum here, and it's it can be really tough, especially like after work to do this stuff because after work a lot of times you're just drained, you
Yeah.
know. And so it's totally appropriate. Like you've spent all day at work, you just got to decompress, and so you do something that doesn't take a whole lot of brain power. You play some games, you watch some stuff, you do whatever. Um
Decompression is important.
it sure is. It absolutely is. And so after work, that's a really good time to do that. And so I'll do that too. I'll either put on some Netflix and eat something or play a game or whatever because I don't have the physical energy to do much more after I get done working. I work in a wood shop. And so it's like, and that can be some pretty strenuous physical labor, and a lot of times I'm there for like 10 to 12 hours, and so it's like, like it's
Yeah.
tiring. And so then I get home, but I'm not tired enough to go to sleep, and my brain is still going, but my body's just exhausted, and I don't, and so that's why I can't exercise at night anymore. When I was a property inspector, that was like the perfect time to exercise because I was in my car all day. And so my brain would be tired and my eyes would be all defunct because I'd been driving on the road all day. And so like my stress levels were high if there was a lot of traffic or if I ran into a lot of weird people or whatever. And so it was a really good time to do something physical and kind of blow off some of that steam. You know what I mean? But depending on what your job is, and even jobs that are sedentary, where like if you have an office job or whatever, they can still drain you, even if it's
Mhm.
not physically taxing, you know?
Absolutely.
So I would definitely recommend having some kind of, depending on what you're doing. I don't know what your job is, but if you don't do much physical labor, but it's all like mental labor and dealing with a lot of people or whatever, and you're not physically drained from exertion, then it might be a good time to do some kind of exercise, even if it's just taking a walk for a little while. And I love how Ryan talked about, like even if it's just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, even if it's just a short amount of time, it can really do a lot for you. So if you find yourself drained at the end of the day and you just want to sit and chill and do nothing, it's totally cool. You totally do that, and it's fine. But if if you want to put stuff like this into your life, what I would recommend doing probably is trying to do some of that stuff before you go to work. I know that means a lot of times it might mean getting up a little bit early. But even if it's only 5 to 10 minutes or 15 minutes or something like that, it doesn't have to be a huge chunk of time. It doesn't have to get you up super early in the morning if you don't want to. But to take the first little bit of your day before you get and check your messages, before you do whatever, because like a lot of times, what do? First thing we wake up, we reach for our phone. A lot of times I reach for my phone first thing in the morning because my alarm on my phone is going off and I want to shut the thing off, right? And so my phone is immediately in my hand, and now I have my phone in my hand and I'm just waking
That's
up.
that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, mine is in my hand for at least a second because I want to see what time it is, and then I put the phone back down.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Yep. But so, I mean, you
that's why I
might,
gave it up mostly for Lent this year.
your phone.
I haven't given my phone up completely, but like I give up all the dilly dallying on my phone. Like
Ah.
I just don't touch my phone unless I actually like need it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's been huge. I think it's just getting away from that habit's been awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've got a lot of stuff in the chat here. Oh my. Um, so let's see. Sully says writing and wood carving are both really cool things to do. Come home from work, sit in a dark room with your eyes closed to rest. Then make a pencil and paper doc file available and start writing. Tell yourself to write. It won't come easily at the first couple times, but you can create a restful environment for yourself to think about writing. And Wick says, I'm imagining a house inspector finding like a major black mold infection creeping in someone's wall saying, oof, yeah, that's going to give you writer's block. Yeah, your paintings are going to suck. That's good.
Gosh, that brought back memories.
Saule says, wood carving would take a different process, but if you're able to write after work, then you'll be able to say one day, I'm going to do some woodworking today instead of writing. I know I said sit in the dark with the lights off, but once you start writing, especially on paper, turn the lights on. Probably, especially if you start cutting, like carving wood, you might want to do that with some lights on too. Um, you might end up with some bloody pieces if you if you start carving in the dark.
Not if you're a good carver. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
Don't test
oh.
yourself.
Dang. uh Wick said also this won't help with like the physical exhaustion, but I always find it really refreshing to just sit outside and watch the birds and the trees and the breeze for a little bit, or even just the clouds. Mm-hmm. And then Soleil says, to Joe's point, jobs can be draining even if the job is just sit there and be available if we need you. I know this from experience. Sometimes they need me constantly. Sometimes nothing is broken. You're right. And that can totally drain you. Because that's the thing. Like when we're working, a lot of times we're there, we're working, we're putting in effort, even if it's just mental effort, and we're dealing with some of that stress. Even if we're bored, but we're there to be at work, it can still be draining. And so then when you get done after 8 hours of that or whatever, you're tired. It's natural and normal, and you might just want to sit and decompress and take in some entertainment or do whatever. It's totally fine. So, as I was saying before, I would definitely do it in the morning. And if, in fact, even if you're not struggling with this, I would say your days will feel better if when you wake up, you can devote the first little portion of your day, whether it's 10 minutes or an hour, whatever, any range in there. Devote that to you. And, you can spend time in prayer. You can spend time meditating. You can spend time just, just existing. Get up, maybe drink some water. I would definitely drink water first thing when you get up, because you just not had any water for that whole time you've been sleeping. You probably have not been drinking water in your sleep most of the time. In fact, I think it would be weird if you did. But so you're probably mildly dehydrated. So that's like, I would say, step one: wake up, avoid stimulating yourself or letting the world into your life. Because all kinds of things the world's going to come into your life soon enough. Right? But take that first little portion of your day and spend it with yourself. And in those moments, you can sit and meditate. You can journal. You can maybe read something. Reading isn't as stimulating on your mind in the ways that, like Ryan was talking about, the ways that can kind of hurt you. Reading actually can help increase, your cognitive activity. And so that's a good way to start as well. Moving your body can be a really good way of doing something. It doesn't have to be strenuous. It can be strenuous if you want it to be. You totally can do that. But it can just be some stretching or some yoga or some Pilates or push-ups or go for a walk or something. Generally, I try and do some stretching. I'll walk on my way to the coffee maker and do like dips on the way, like dip squat
Oh, yeah,
things,
yeah.
So I'll take like longer steps and touch my knee to the ground and come back up, just to kind of get things moving a little bit and make myself feel a little bit more strong, a little bit more present, and come into myself. But those things can just help you have a better day overall when you can take that first little bit of time and be like, okay, I'm devoting this time to just myself before the world takes over. Because then you get to work and you're dealing with work stuff, or you got to deal with traffic on the way to work, and you got to deal with, the world just infects us and it drains us. Not to say the world is a bad thing, not to say other people are bad. None of that I'm saying is bad, but it's really easy to lose yourself in that grind if you don't methodically take some time for yourself, doing the things you love, like you said. I mean, think back. Now, none of us can think back this far, except for me, because I've been around forever. But before technology, and I mean, technology's always existed in some way, shape, or form, but before we had the modern comforts that we have now, before all the modern technologies having an access to the world in your pocket, right? Before we had the computers and the TVs and the screens and the everything, people would sit and examine the world. Now, all these things have been figured out through the sciences and all that kind of stuff. So it's like people aren't exploring the same. They're still exploring scientifically. They're still exploring different areas, and I think it's great. But to just sit and exist in this world, it's something that we don't do so much anymore. But I think they used to do it a lot more when all there was just the world around you.
Mm-hmm.
But back then, if it's anything like when I took wilderness survival, which was one of the college classes I took, it was great. But I remember being on that trip, and we could take with us everything you could fit inside a coffee can. Right? So I made sure I brought a big coffee can, the biggest one I could find. And I wore cargo pants and a vest with about 20 pockets in it. And I loaded
Great
up
stuff.
all those pockets.
Yeah. Nice. Very smart, Joe. Using your brain.
My brother told me, because he took the class like the year before I did, he was like, okay, get your coffee can, pack a whole bunch of toilet paper in the bottom of it. Just cram it, and then everything else can kind of squish the toilet paper down. But you're going to want toilet paper. And you don't want to have a whole roll because it'll take up too much space. But just take a bunch and just wad it up, cram it down in there and at the bottom, and then put your stuff on
Nice.
top of that. I was like, that's a smart move. But anyway, when we were out there, we get out there and, you wake up in the morning and your whole day is basically trying to find something to eat. That's the whole day. And I was like, that's how people used to live, basically. Was trying to find food, trying to survive, trying to avoid the panthers and the tigers and the everything that were going to come after you, or the snakes or whatever. Survival was the thing. And other than that, it was, just being in the world, just existing in the world. And there's something really cleansing and really freeing about doing that now. Just spending some time in the world. You know, I like being outside. I like being in nature. My favorite places are beaches and the woods. And if there's woods with beaches, it's even better. Right? But to be where there's water and trees, I really like it.
Yeah.
But anyway, try and take some of that time for yourself every day. And I would recommend doing it first thing in the morning. Start your day quietly and peacefully. And then your day will go much better. And then at the end of the day, when you're tired and you're exhausted and you're drained, it's not that big a deal, to entertain yourself, do whatever it is you need to do, to decompress and all that kind of stuff, because you've taken that time and blocked out that time in your day. One of the things to do while you're taking that time is decide what kind of person you want to be that day. Who do I want to be that day? Because the way you think about yourself and your life is what is going to determine your life. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be my recommendation. And if you decide in that morning time, okay, I'm going to take some time to write. I'm going to take some time to carve wood. I'm going to take some time to do whatever. If you have time before you go to work, do it then. And then you can check that off in the box. And then when you do get home and you're tired and you're decompressing, you won't feel as guilty. You'll feel a lot more fulfilled because you already did those things that you wanted to do that day. And I think a lot of us tend to get up. I got to get up so early and get to work. I know. And it's hard. But it's easier to fit all that stuff in before the world takes over, I think. But anyway, that's what I have. I'm Ryan. I'm turning it back to you now.
I think that was great, and that's a great suggestion about doing in the morning. One thing I'd add right onto that um, is you wake up with the alarm probably. I don't know what you do specifically, Dolphin, but I'm imagining if you're the average person, you wake up to that alarm, and then you entirely get up. You don't want to be up, but you're like, well, gotta get up and you go to work. So you get ready and you go to work. Here's the thing. The reason that alarm is waking you up is because the night before you were trying to fulfill yourself on easy comforts. and you weren't satisfied, and so you stayed up longer trying to get that satisfaction out of being fully relaxed, fully comforted, and then you go to sleep relatively like, well, I have to go to sleep because I won't get much sleep if I don't go to sleep now. So I might as well just go to sleep, even though I'm going to sleep feeling unfulfilled, uncomforted, even though that's what you set out to do. I think that's generally most people's experience. It was my experience for a time. Um, so I think one thing you need to do, if that's your experience, if you had that experience, even anytime recently, um, you go to bed and you're taking the easy comforts all the way up until like right before bed. Might be playing a video game until like you're like looking at the time, you're like, okay, okay, I can get like 6 hours of sleep if I, just like finish this match, and stop, you know. Or maybe you watch a movie or, whatever it is. But um, you might be in that position where you don't feel like what you're doing is getting you enough, you know, for what it is, so that you have to stay awake trying to get more out of it. It's like when you're doom scrolling and you're just like passing over and over and over and over and over, like next reel, next reel, next reel, next reel, hoping something will actually be enjoyable. And
Mm.
even if it is enjoyable, it's forgotten in seconds
Mm-hmm.
because you're on to the next thing,
Yeah.
because your brain goes, oh, hey, that one was fun. Maybe the next one will be fun too. Right? It's the same thing. Same
Mm-hmm.
mechanism, except for a, a bigger deal. Because um, well, it depends. It depends if you're a chronic doom scroller, but
I
then
have been
that's the bigger
one
deal.
at times for sure, and it's kept me up
Mm,
really, really late just because it
yeah,
becomes this habit, to just kind of just like,
yeah,
vroom, vroom, vroom,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. And you can ask yourself at the end of it, what do I remember?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you're like, ah, crap.
The stuff I remember is pretty dumb most of the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, anyways, um, the reality is these things can't fulfill you, generally speaking. Sometimes you'll find something that was like a gem, but it's like if you have to, let's say you're a gold digger,
Huh?
and if you have to, like, let's say you're not a gold digger in a
You're a
weird sense.
gold digger.
Let's
Let's
say
say
you're
you're
an
a gold digger,
actual,
and you're like,
let's say you, let's say you're an actual gold digger. Like you're
okay,
not like you're not a fool, right?
I
You're
got
not
you.
searching for fool's gold. You're sifting for gold,
I
right?
love it.
You're sifting for gold on the dirt floor of wherever you're at, and it takes you like 3 days to come up with like a tiniest little sand-sized pebble of of a piece of gold, and it's worth like 10 cents. The reality is you could just be sifting in that spot for years and making just enough to get by, but hoping you'll find that, that gem, hoping you'll find that thing that finally fulfills your dreams and gives you like, makes you a millionaire because you find the giant nugget. Okay, right? Like, the reality is you're sifting in the wrong spot. The reality is you need to go on an adventure and find somewhere where there's actually potential, right? Something that can fulfill you. Now, it doesn't mean you have to give up your dream of being, finding gold and being a gold
Of
digger
being a gold
and
digger.
getting rich off it, because that's what you've specialized in. You like it,
Dude,
you know?
every time I'm sorry. You talk
It's
about being
okay.
a gold digger. I just think about women looking for rich men and like I'm
I know, I know. Not even trying to, yeah, yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. But, it's like that might not even be the field you need to be in, digging for gold. if you're interested in gold, you might find other fields that use gold that you can make more money in. But regardless, my point is, when you attempt to satisfy yourself on things that are easy and comfortable, now they have their place and they're important. But a great question to ask yourself, because, okay, so just to go back to where I was at before, real quick, I was talking about how we go to sleep trying to just, okay, one more sift, one more sift, one more sift, one more sift. Okay, just one more sift. We go to sleep extra tired and unsatisfied because we're not finding the thing we're looking for. So when you say you go to, at the end of the day, you're tired and you're seeking these easy comforts, but you end up waking up to an alarm the next morning because you probably you didn't pack it, you didn't like put the amount of sleep that you needed in the schedule. You're pushing the schedule so tight. You know what I mean? You're like really cramming that schedule in. Like, okay, like I gotta get to work. That part's blocked out. Then I get home. I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna easy comfort myself into the last eke of the moment, and then go to bed, and then do it all again. It's like you're cramming like that's what you want to cram in. Like that's not. I don't think that's the ideal cram. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I would say that it would be better. It would be literally better to just go home and go to bed and not sleep for like the first 3 hours you lay in bed and then fall asleep, and then wake up in the morning to an alarm because your brain has the internal clock right now working, and whatever, you're used to waking up to an alarm probably. Maybe you're not. I'm just assuming, I'm just going off of the average person's experience. Um, right. But you can see how that doesn't sound ideal. And that's why you're here. I mean, that's why you're talking about it, because it's not ideal. But what I'm saying is if it's not ideal, then don't do it. And you're like, well, I got to do the work part. Okay, you got to do the work part. You got to do the sleep part. You got to do the wake up part. You got to do the eat part. You got to do the breathe and drink part. Yeah, you got to do all of that. But what you're doing in your downtime, it's very important. And it's important to get some easy comforts in there from time to time. It's important to get your rest in there, that brain downtime. Without any just external consumption of something, just let your brain have time to process. Even if when you go and you go like, I try to process, but nothing happens because my brain just goes a billion miles an hour and does nothing and runs in circles. It's like, yeah, that's you processing it. That's you having trouble processing because your brain hasn't been able to process in a while, and so that's what happens. If you give yourself time to process and it's working for you immediately, I'd be impressed and I'd be surprised, because most people's experience is, no, I hate, I like, they literally just hate the idea of not doing something because their brain goes crazy on them, which is okay. That's what I expect. Your brain's got to do that for a time until it's got things figured out and processed. But if you're not in that position, that's awesome. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is, one of the things you can ask yourself is, would it make me proud?
That's a good question.
So, when you come home and then you're looking at what you can do with your life, almost any time, you can ask, would it make me proud? Would it be the kind of person I want to be? Is it me doing the things that I want to, like, I want to be that person that does these things, right? Would it make me proud? And that question is dangerous because it could lead to overworking yourself.
Mm.
Part of being proud is knowing you're doing the right thing. And so sometimes you'll know that, okay, I would be proud of myself if I could like not think about work for a moment and like stop that and not be a workaholic and then go away from that, and you could be proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is those easy comforts are good, but if they're not, if you're looking at them right now, it sounds like you're saying they're not making you proud of who you are, proud of what you're doing with your life. It's not necessarily who you are. I mean, you are what you're doing in a way, but you're more than that. But regardless, it sounds like you're not proud of them. So if you're not proud of them, then either you are undervaluing them, which could be the case, because you might be pushed by society or just your family or yourself to think that your value comes from how productive you are or whatever, which could lead to thinking that if I do easy comforts, then I'm a shame on society or something, right? That tends to be a thing in our society, and
Mm-hmm.
even more so in Eastern societies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I would say, you know, you could be that your mind is undervaluing the easy comforts, and so you're doing something that you should be proud of. You just, you're not, because your mind hasn't been made up about it and understood, why it's valuable. But if that's not the case, and likely it's not, um, you're thinking, I'm not proud of just taking the easy route here because it isn't satisfying anymore,
Mm.
right? And if it's not satisfying, then why are you doing it,
Mm.
right? So I suggest what Joe said is brilliant. You wake up in the morning early, you'll feel proud of that. You do something before you go to work, you'll feel proud of that. It will like make your whole day. You'll feel good about your day, because if you get something done right in the morning that you're like putting your mind to, the rest of the day feels like you did something already that day. So the rest of the day is kind of easier. Like you already know you're proud of yourself.
Mm.
So you can kind of just do your day without any stress of being like, when am I going to be satisfied?
Mm.
It's like you stop having those thoughts, because if you just get something done early in the morning, you're like, I've already basically done the thing I wanted to do today. And so you feel good about the rest of the day. And when you get home, you might not even reach for those easy comforts, but you might still. But you might not even reach for the easy comforts, because you might say, no, I'm done for the day. I've done everything. I'm going to hit the hay. I've done a good job. I deserve rest. And you're going to go sleep and wake up early the next morning and get some of this stuff out of the way. And every once in a while, you won't do that in the morning. You'll take it easy and you'll get your rest in, your easy comforts, because those are needed too. Playing a game or watching a movie, those are great. So I really like what Joe said about waking up early in the morning and kind of just doing what you're proud of, doing what you know you're proud of. And now maybe there's a chance you don't need to do that, and instead you do what you just kind of go like, you know what, I would be more satisfied if I even attempted to do some wood carving, but got like nothing done, but still at least attempted. I feel proud that I even picked it up at the end of the day. Maybe you could start there. That could be a start. But do what you think would be more realistically life-changing. Because this current lifestyle that you're doing is tiring you out.
Mm.
And that's not, clearly that's not good. You're not enjoying that. And you're not finding yourself enjoying even the easy comforts, which makes sense. So if you're not enjoying them, then it's like, yeah, your lifestyle needs to change. So do what you think is going to be smart for you, whether it be waking up early in the morning or staying awake. Um, but I think that waking up in the morning is going to make your schedule tighter, like tighter in the sense of like solid. It's smart.
Hmm.
And you get that feeling of like, I did the things I wanted to do today already in the morning. And then you're going to go to work after that and you're going to feel happy. Um, but if for some reason you feel like it would be better for you to do it the night way, like that would be more fulfilling for you to do it at night, for some reason, then I'm not going to try to press you to do the morning thing. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice. Those are some good thoughts, especially the ones where you said I had said something good.
And Joe, you said a lot of really good things. My best
Totally kidding.
thoughts come from you. We've done this
I
before.
doubt this.
You know, they
I
they
d-
they kind of float up to me. They like off of your head, they're like hot
oh
thoughts,
yeah,
just
yeah.
hot thoughts
Yep.
right off the scalp.
Because
And
I
I
am
can
a,
just they're just coming up like steam. I'm
yeah.
getting them in my hair and everything.
That's why I'm a
So my hair's
hothead.
lying, so get up. Hothead, yes.
You know,
You
for
have to be
you,
a
it's
hothead
for
so that I can
you.
learn.
It's for you.
Yeah, it's for me.
Yep. That's the only reason I'm such a hothead. Well, you don't know if you've ever heard a
It's okay.
bad Joe thought outside of my love for squeeze cheese. Dude, the squeeze cheese thought is brilliant.
Joe, okay, wait, Noah, hold on. I just wanna
Oh, by the way, Mianglios, hi there.
Oh
I
hey
saw you
Nicholas,
pop in the
yeah. I
chat.
saw you spoke.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice to see
Good to
you.
see you.
You're amazing.
Hmm.
Noah, okay, if you've never heard a bad thought come out of Joe and the exception is squeeze cheese, then the exception it might just be that Joe's right about that as well.
Yeah.
It might just be that you just haven't learned enough yet to to fully recognize the truth that Joe is speaking when he speaks about squeeze cheese.
Yes. So specifically for you, Noah.
Sorry, no, I'm kidding.
So yeah, I talked about I talked about I talked about getting up early. I talked about doing all that kind of stuff, and but here's the thing I'm kind of getting at, and this is a, kind of a big thing in a in you see no flaw in that logic. I see all kinds of flaws in that logic, but okay.
Yeah, you too, but yeah,
But thanks, Ryan. I appreciate it.
you're
This is
welcome.
great. So, we've talked about a lot of different stuff, and I think we're probably going to just do this topic today because we're running towards, we got like 15 minutes left, which isn't time to dive into another topic. But I did want to touch on a thing with this, with what we're talking about here, and I went through a lot of craziness, and I've learned a lot in the last year about psychology and philosophy, particularly Stoicism. And one of the things that's kind of inherent in that is pursuing silence. And there's good reason for that because it really does center you. And it really does help you handle all of the pressures that the world is going to throw at you. Now, Dolphin, you graduated and you're working full time, so you got your career, you went to school, you graduated, got a career that you can do, and yeah, and that kind of, when you get to be an adult, that's kind of like life becomes that in a lot of ways, where it's like I get up, I go to work, I come home, I try and relax, and then eventually I go to bed, and whatever, right? There was a time when I was so always going and going and going and going. And it kind of, actually, it's been my whole life. It's been like that, just even when I was in like high school and my friends would always be like, yep, Joe's the busy guy. right? Now, I would still have fun. I would still get together and we would hang out and we would do all kinds of fun stuff. But I was always working on some kind of a project. Always. And it's just kind of been my life, since as long as I can remember. And so there's always been something that I've been in pursuit of. And what Ryan said in his first segment about something that gets you excited, that's really important.
Mm-hmm. It is.
To have something that kind of lights you up and kind of gets you going a little bit, to have some kind of goal, some kind of dream, some kind of thing you want to pursue, these things that they kind of wake us up. And Ryan was so right. Like no matter how tired and drained you are,
mm-hmm.
you can think about that thing and charge yourself up. But it takes time in silence, using your imagination.
That's right.
To get that excitement. And it can teach you a lot about who you are. It can teach you a lot about discovering those parts of yourself if you're willing to sit in the silence. Set your phone aside. Set the distractions aside. You don't have to go out in nature. I like going out in nature. And, I'll go for a walk. I have a park. It's 5 miles from my house or 8 miles from my house or something like that. I love this park. And it's been winter, but now it's spring. And so, now I can go and I'll be able to, go walk around this lake. It's basically a gravel pit, right, that they turned into a park. And it's actually a really nice lake. I love going kayaking there in the summers. But when it's not summer, if the water's too cold to go kayaking, what I'll do is I'll just go walk around this lake. It's not very big. It takes about a half an hour to walk around it. Maybe 45 minutes, depending on how much I get distracted by, different stuff around, happens, so, oh, that's a cool looking tree, and I'll go look at it, or that, whatever. But to take that time when you're just alone in silence, you start to hear your own voice. And that's really one of the most important things you can learn to discover is your own voice. Because so much of our lives are given to other people, whether it's our employer or our spouse or our family or, friends or whatever. And it's really easy to lose yourself in the midst of all that chaos. I've been guilty of being pulled in lots of different directions by lots of different people. I've been guilty of being manipulated. I've been guilty of allowing myself to get to that point. And I remember my therapist asking me this, and this was specifically about romantic relationships, but it is applicable in your workplace. It's applicable in all kinds of different areas. And what she asked was, the question isn't, why did this happen to me? How did I get here? How did I get to the point where I was in this position? Why did this happen? And she asked a really important question. It was, instead of asking that, ask, why did I allow this? Now, a lot of times we allow our employers to dictate a good portion of our lives because that's where our paycheck comes from, and we got to have money to live, and we got to do all this kind of stuff, right? And, whatever. And you got bills to pay, and you got stuff to do, and whatever, and you got to eat, and you got to have a place to live, and, whatever. You got to have squeezed cheese because Noah, it's important. I'm telling you, man.
That's hilarious, dude. Because Noah, it's important.
It's important. And luckily,
I get it.
Yeah. So, oh, it looks like we disconnected there for a second. Hopefully we're going to be back. But Find your own voice. Sit in silence. Take some time and remove the distractions. Go for a walk. Sit in your room. Listen for yourself. Because you, Dolphin, you are a unique person in this world. There's never been a person like you before, and there will never be a person like you again, ever. There will never be another you. And you have a unique voice that needs to be expressed in this world. And you need to discover that. The only way you're going to do that is by taking some time in silence. And when we talk about pursuing boredom, that's really kind of what we're talking about. It's like take time to listen for yourself. Listen for who you are to come to the surface. Because you can spend decades of your life living for somebody else. And you get to a point eventually, and I know this from experience, you get to a point where you forget who you are. You forget what you bring to the table. You forget what makes you tick. You forget the things like, what in the world was I even trying to do with my life? And you wake up in this space and you're like, what in the world? How did I get here? And it's because I stopped listening to my own voice, because I stopped listening for my own voice deep inside. And I allowed those around me to dictate what I was going to do. And that's just, man, it leads to a place where we do seek even more the comforts, the ease, what, how did you put it? Easy
sorry.
comforts.
Yeah.
We seek the easy comforts. It's a way for us to numb ourselves. And when we do that, we're not listening to ourselves. We're not speaking to ourselves. And if that goes on long enough, you lose parts of who you are, and then you have to rediscover them, and that can be a hard process. In fact, I have this book. It's sitting right here in my chair, right next to me. I bought this, and I had to print it off. Is in this little folder thingy, right? But it's basically True Self-Discovery. Is this thing I found online. It's got all these worksheets in here asking a bunch of questions about, what kinds of things make you come to life, what kinds of things, in all different areas. What kinds of things do I actually want? And you know how hard that is to do after you've given so much of your life and lost yourself in other people and abandoned yourself in other people. It's a hard thing to ask that question, to ask some of these questions. I remember sitting there being stumped by some of them and taking forever to try and come up with it. I made a lot of progress when I was sitting by myself, nobody around me that I knew, and it was a quiet area because I was waiting for a friend of mine to get out of surgery. Took a friend of mine to the hospital to have surgery, and then I couldn't leave because I was his ride, right? And so there I was just sitting there for a few hours. And so I went through a whole bunch of these pages, and I remember being stuck on one of these questions for at least 45 minutes, maybe longer. And I was like, lost, trying to remember. It's wild. So pursue silence, pursue boredom, pursue just nothingness for a while. And if you can do it every day, do it. Because only then will your true voice start to come to the surface and you'll be able to hear oh, these are the things that make me tick. These are the things that I wanted to live for. These are the dreams I had before the world came in and started telling me what my dreams should be. Because we get caught in that trap of self abandonment. So I'd encourage you to do that. I don't know. That's the kind of stuff I had to say. So
Yeah, absolutely. Beautifully said, Joe.
thank you.
Really like that. Yeah, I
Thank you.
mean, just to, I mean, that's so awesome. Just to ride the wave for a little bit. I mean, what's amazing about being a human is we're born into this world and we don't know who we are,
Uh-huh.
but we're something
Uh-huh.
already. We discover, you live your whole life and you discover who you are. You discover the things you like, the things you don't like, why you like and don't like them. And along the road, you're changing and you're, etc. But I think it's incredibly beautiful that you're discovering who you are. Like you are already a thing and you don't know what it is. Yet you have intelligence, yet you still have to figure out, who am I? Because you don't come preloaded with that data, which is amazing. But Joe's saying something really important. And just to kind of add some words onto it, or just to kind of compact a little bit, what he said is, what the world has thrown at you is not who you are, right? And I think everyone needs to hear that from time to time. What the world throws at you is not who you are. Like maybe the world's thrown at you that you were born in a rich place or a poor place, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you had hard times. Maybe you had abusive people in your life. Maybe you've had maybe you were overspoiled. There's so many things. But what the world threw at you is not who you are. How you handle it is only a small part of who you are.
Mm.
A small part.
Mm-hmm.
It is part of who you are, how you handle it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a small part. So much of who you are is not dependent on what the world throws at you and how you handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's so like no one says that, no one talks about that. And so I love that Joe talked about that because no one ever, everyone's always like, there's a phrase, there's a quote, that goes around and it's like who you are. Uh, it's not like the troubles that you experience, but how you handle them that makes you who you are. And it's like, no, that's a small part of who you are.
Uh-huh.
Y- The reason you handled it the way you handled it is because of who you are. It's not the way that you handled them made you who you are, though there is some truth in that because that's how you build habits. But even more true, you are a certain type of person. But who you decide that person is often in the downtime. It's in that time Joe's talking about where you greet your inner self and you have that openness with yourself and you talk about, what do I believe? What do I think? What are my values? What virtues do I pursue?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of things do I aspire towards? What kind of, like these things that make you who you are and who you're deciding you will be, the person you're building up inside. You build you like nothing else builds you
Mm-hmm.
when you spend that time in
Mm-hmm.
silence, because nothing that the world throws at you will build you in such intimate and vulnerable and deep and like foundational way. There's like nothing in the world that will build you in that kind of way. That's like just literally you in silence.
Mm.
And a lot of times that comes after like the explosion. And so usually the explosion happens and then the silence.
Mm.
And people say that it's the explosion that changed them, but it's not.
Mm.
I've seen explosion after explosion after explosion in some people's lives, and they do not change.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they never had the silence.
Right.
So
Well,
it's the
they're scared
silence.
of it. And
Yeah,
and it's a habit to run toward the next explosion.
it's right. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Like
And
people
I've even
that get
seen it
out
in
of
my own
the
life too.
what's that?
And I've seen it in my life too. And that's
Oh,
how
sure.
I'm, yeah, and I'm not trying to point a finger at other people. I'm just saying, like, yeah, that's the truth of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's the silence that really builds you and after the explosion. Yes, the explosion was the experience that you needed to shut you up, but like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
So what were you gonna say?
I think it's also really important to try not to numb yourself
Mm, yeah.
during that time.
Yeah.
And you can numb yourself in all kinds of different ways. You can numb yourself with entertainment. You can numb yourself with shopping. You can numb yourself with gambling. You can numb yourself with drugs and alcohol. You can numb yourself with, you know, sexual pursuits. You can numb yourself in all kinds of different ways. But to just sit in stillness, it's not easy when we've been pursuing, you know, either living for somebody else, abandoning ourselves, or numbing out,
Hmm.
because those
Right.
are
Right.
habits.
Yeah.
But if you can
They're
create the habit of silence, oh,
they're walls in a
huge.
way.
Yeah, yeah. They'll trap you.
They're just yeah, they're to defend you and then they'll trap you.
Hmm.
Like that's a lot of times why people can't sit in silence because they've hurt themselves too many times, and now they know they're vulnerable in the silence.
Hmm.
But the vulnerable spot is where you create foundations,
Hmm.
and that's deep, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you feel like that's an answer to this situation you're in, but I think that that's an answer to a lot of people's situation, at least.
Hmm.
But do I have one question for you? You mentioned centering yourself or to yeah, I think that's well, it's not exactly your words, but you said to center you or whatever, like you can do something and it'll center you.
Hmm.
And it's not a terminology I'm very familiar with, so it sounds kind of like Hindu to me, like the word vibe is Hindu. It's
Hmm.
like I don't know what it means. So what does it mean to be to center your yeah, I don't know how to even use the phrase.
So there's different way. Like really, it's just to spend a little bit of time, and it helps a lot with anxiety. I had to learn some of this stuff, and you know, part of it is doing some meditating where you're just trying to empty your mind and just exist,
Mm,
right?
right.
So a
Okay.
lot of times what I'll do is I'll take some deep breaths. In fact, one of the things I did, I even did this in the shower where I paid attention to the feeling of the floor under my feet, you know,
Yeah, okay.
and you
Yeah.
just kind of sit and you focus in on some part of the experience that's happening right now, which is, you know, like the feeling of the floor under my feet, the feeling of my chair under my backside, the feeling of whatever. And just,
I like the first one, but the second one was not very pleasant.
I'm not telling you to feel my backside.
I didn't mean that. My feet are comfortable, my back hurts.
Oh, I see.
That's so funny.
You better not touch my backside.
Yeah, Joe, I wanted to, I had plenty of chances.
Yeah, true. You had. I'm glad you didn't pursue that.
Hmm. You're welcome, me.
But, you know, or even when you're lying in your bed, you know,
Hmm.
like,
Okay.
because a lot of times we lie in our bed and, you know, if our phone's there, we might doom scroll. And I'm guilty of it. I know a lot of people are guilty of it. But how often do you lay in your bed and just feel the feeling of the blankets on you and just focus on that? And it's really just bringing yourself into the present reality of where you're at right now. That's what I kind of mean by centering yourself, you know?
Okay.
And to me, it's, I became a comedian. Thanks.
Joe's funny. I like him.
um, but, yeah, so like I'll stand in the shower and I'll just, it's to me a lot of times it needs to be somatic, which means like bodily feeling, right?
So I think I get it now. Centering yourself is the idea of like, if I tie it to like, this is not exactly, this is the best way I can explain it. Martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
you balance yourself and you put your center of gravity in its most optimal state or position with your feet, like you do in karate and
Mm-hmm.
probably some others.
Yeah.
Um, and so when you center yourself, you're kind of grounding yourself
Yeah.
and stabilizing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Everything comes from a foundation. And when we were in martial arts, that was one of the things. Like the first thing was always your base, which is where your feet are planted.
Mm,
Because everything
okay.
flows from that. And I remember learning when I did some exercising, I had an exercise program that was like training for parkour.
So,
Not that I ever became a parkour guy,
yeah, you should get back into that.
but the training was really cool. And they would
Yeah.
talk a lot about balance. They would talk a lot about, okay, feel the floor beneath your feet and think of it in terms of a triangle, like my heel and then the ball of my feet, the one side right behind my big toe and the side right behind my little toe, and you imagine that little triangle, and it's
Mm,
like firmly feel equal pressure on
mm.
those three spots,
Wow,
right?
yeah, okay.
And so you actively take that little detail. And I did something really dangerous once where I was in the shower and it's wet floor, right? I don't know why I keep talking about being in the shower, but like that's where I was. Anyway, and so I would stand there and I would just feel that. And then I would lift my heels and just be on the fronts of my feet, the two front,
Yeah.
and then rock back on my heels, and the floor is wet and slippery. So it's like kind of dangerous. I do not recommend this. We're not professionals. Um
Yeah.
but it was just feeling that and learning to kind of balance and having that solid base, you know. But for me, in a lot of these ways, it is somatic, meaning bodily sensation, where it's like I'll lay in my bed and I'll just feel the feeling of what it's like to be under the blankets. Feel that warmth, feel if they're soft blankets, how soft are they, whatever. And like that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, it's Dolphin.
Oh, hey, nice. Hey,
You're
thank you
welcome.
for this topic and thank you for saying hi.
Yeah, it's nice to see that you have a clever username.
Yeah. It's a very clever
It's a
username.
clever
Okay.
username. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for the topic. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
we were able to
This is
talk a
great.
whole bunch about this stuff. We got
Yeah.
pretty deep, but yeah, hopefully some of it's helpful for you. Um but yeah, it was a really really good topic. There's a
Yeah.
lot that can be said here.
Just to give you a helpful tip, when you start, we go on for about like 45 minutes about nothing, and then we do your topics. So
Yeah.
um,
Yep.
there you go. Hope that'll save you some time.
Uh-huh. Yep. But anyway, and speaking of time, it's
Mhm.
about time to wrap things up. Um,
Yeah, it is.
but
Thank you.
guys, thank you so much
It's
for being
great.
here, and Dolphin, thank you for the topic. That it was great, and really lent to a lot of introspection and a lot of, I think. I know Ryan had a lot of great things to say. He said
Joe,
he
you had
said
an
I had a
incredible
lot of great things to say. I, hey, I appreciate that.
I had a
Thank you.
lot of great things to say because I was saying those things that said Joe said a lot of great things.
Yeah, that's exactly
I said them a
exactly
lot of
it.
times. So that's why I had a lot of great things to
Yep.
say.
And
Yeah.
and make sure in all things eat squeeze cheese.
Oh, wow. Incredible. For some reason, my brain went to do all things. I think it's do all things with great love or do little things with great love.
Do all things with great
Anyway,
squeeze cheese.
But yeah, you just moved it to squeeze cheese. It's like, wow. You weren't even trying to
Noah,
make that quote.
I just saw
I
you
was
pop.
going
Wait a
for
minute.
it.
Wait. What is this? Noah was number 3, and then the very
And I was
next comment, number 1.
Noah, you're
Noah,
incredible. Great job. Love
you are amazing. I don't know how you did that, but you did it. Like
Wow.
you skipped number
Dang,
2 right there. Oh, that's probably, in your life, it's best to not skip the number 2 when you have to.
that's true.
Make sure you handle that.
That's
Like, don't handle it. Actually, I'm gonna dig myself a hole. Oh no, that's another one. We gotta
No
stop.
matter what you say, Joe, at this point,
I know.
there are no words you can say that can't just be somehow interpreted incorrectly.
I know. Dang it. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you guys so much for being here at Don't Worry Wednesday. Next week I will not be here. But Ryan will be here. I think Ryan said he's gonna be here if he can.
Yeah, I'll be here or I won't. We're gonna see how it goes.
Yeah. But join us next week, and if for some reason we're not here next week, come back the following week. We will be here. We do this because we
Mhm.
love you guys. We love your topics.
Yeah,
We love, hanging
yeah,
out with you and chatting with you. The chat, you guys always have such amazing, wonderful things to say, and it's really, really an honor and a blessing to
yeah.
get to spend this
It
time
is.
with you. So thank you guys so much for being here. And as Saole just put in the chat, if you'd like to send a topic, go to don'tworrywednesday.com. You can click the link. And
Yeah,
thank you. Thanks, Dolphin. And yeah, it'll be good.
yeah, yeah.
So awesome. Take great care of yourselves and those around you. And until next time, we love you. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. Peace. Love you all.